Okay. Hey, Patrick. So let's talk about mistakes, like maybe like top three mistakes or three mistakes that new coaches make. How does that sound?
Okay. Yeah, no, it sounds good. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
So we're going. We're live.
Yeah, let's
We're good to
go.
go. Oh, okay. We're ready. Um, I don't know if you want to kick off, but I think
Sure.
if we're talking about some mistakes that that folks make. I mean, you and I have talked about these topics a lot, so maybe share
Sure.
one of the ones that pops to your mind.
Sure. So, I mean, I know we said like going to do like three mistakes new coaches make. Of course, new coaches and existing coaches make so many mistakes, which is absolutely fine. That's how we learn. But the first thing that comes to my mind, especially new coaches, is not challenging their clients enough. They afraid for a number of reasons. Reason number one, I think, is because they got their first client. You can't just afford to lose the client and be like tough on the client. So you're trying to say, yeah, okay. They start nodding, they start
Yeah.
okaying to the clients instead of really, really challenging everything, almost everything that they say, so that they can take them from point A to point B. So not challenging their clients or not challenging enough, I think it's one really.
And when you say like not challenging, like what do you mean by by challenging, Brazzo?
Yeah, so basically clients will say certain things, right? That they want to, I don't know, they work on improving their relationships, right? And then they'll tell the coaches what they're doing and what they're not doing. And the coaches will be, okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah, maybe you can try this, but yeah, that's okay, right?
Yeah.
Instead of like really being a tough, here's what you need to do. Have you tried this? Have you tried this? Really,
Yes.
being really, really, really challenging every move. And then when they come back after that session, all right, to do the review and challenge again everything that they did, because they can always do better. That's our job, to make sure they
Yes.
do better. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking of challenge. What do you think?
Well, I think what you're talking about is, a concept that I use with my clients, when I'm training actual coaches to work with their clients, is really just getting in the habit of first and foremost interrogating your own goals, and then and I use interrogation because it sounds like scary, right? It's just a scary word for most of us. But interrogating your clients' goals, helping them to interrogate the goals. And I can just give a concrete example. I was working with a client, I guess maybe 6 8 months ago. I don't know about you, but I lost time with this damn COVID thing, right? So I don't remember exactly when it was, but 6 8 9 months ago, whatever. And this gentleman was, I think he was making about 100,000, give or take, a year in his career, and he wanted to make a switch. And one of his first goals was that the following year he was going to make $1.5 million, which is a great goal to have if there's a pathway to it, right? If there's been some history. So as the coach, of course, I'm an optimistic coach. I want it to, want to lay the possibilities out for him, but I also want to interrogate that goal with him. Like, number one, based on your current experience, based on your calendar, like where all the other things that you have to do in life, is that goal, not is it possible, because possible is one of
Yeah,
those
everything is
words, right?
possible.
Yeah,
It's
it's
different.
possible. Yeah, of course it's possible. But is it real? Is it likely to
Right,
happen?
right.
Is it like, and so that kind of challenge, like challenging your clients to take their goals or their dreams and their aspirations and build them up with them, but also say, based on your current situation, is it likely to happen in 3 to 6 months? Are you likely to be making 9 months from now $1.5 million based on your experience?
Right. And what are
And
the
the answer
very
may be
specific,
yes.
maybe the answer is yes, but what are the specific steps you're going to do to
Yes.
make that happen from
Yeah.
starting today? What are you doing? From 100,000 to 1.5 million, it's a big jump. Good for you.
Yeah.
Let's work on it.
And I
Uh,
think it really helps clients then to your point, to really take it away from a wish, a want, a dream to
yes.
something that is more concrete. And I love wishes, wants, and dreams personally.
They're
I
all
love
good.
them.
They're
you
all
know,
good. We all
I'm a
need our
daydreamer
dreams.
myself, just,
Me too.
by nature. And I also see the necessity to to really take those wishes, wants, and dreams and put them into something really concrete. Or otherwise, we wind up with clients that say, hey, I've been working with Patrick. I've been working with
Right.
Braco for 9 months, and I don't have my 1.5 million. Where's my 1.5 million?
And I
Right?
kept saying that was my goal, but Patrick never said, never challenged me, never said, you know,
And
is that
I never made my 1.5 million. So
right.
why would I keep on paying you, Patrick? So,
They're not gonna pay you. See, that's the thing. People think that if they start challenging their clients and questioning their moves, that they may lose the client, but they will not. You know, I had 2 days ago. Actually, I'll tell you later on more details. But I had a story with a marketing individual, right? Story, discussion, 20, 30 minutes, right? And she was so tough, and I was actually pissed off. But at the end, I went to sleep. I was like, you know what? She's so right. I learned so much. Seriously, I learned so much in like 20 to 30 minutes, just a discussion. But she was so tough on my marketing.
And that's great. I love it when I work with my coach and my coach challenges my wishes, wants, and dreams, like challenges me, you know, says, hey, Patrick, is that realistic?
Right.
Love it.
That's coach's job. If they don't challenge it, then, you know, why do you have a coach?
Yeah. And you're right, though. You know, and if you lose the client because you're not just, patting them on the back for wishes, wants, and dreams, then it's not the right client. It's not the right situation for you.
Exactly. Then you need to lose a client. And or if client keeps saying, well, come on, Patrick, I know I can make this. You know, I'm going to make 1.5. And you see that that's not going well. You say, hey, John, sorry, buddy, I can't help you. I'm really sorry.
Exactly.
You know,
I can't get you there.
I can't get you there. Bye-bye. Find somebody better than me.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You pay me million. I say bye-bye.
So then another mistake I would say then would be that, and we all do this, right? We don't listen enough, right? We don't listen enough.
Yes.
We just don't. And I think one of the human, tendencies, unless we really train and become mindful of this, is to, when we're listening to clients, we want to be the expert. Right. We want to be the expert person there. So we have a tendency, unless we're really careful of it, to be thinking in terms of what am I going to say next? Like, what am I going to share? Like,
we do it all the time.
Exactly. We do it with names, right? People always say, I can't remember people's names. And one of the reasons we don't remember people's names when they first introduce themselves to us is because, for the most part, I challenge anybody to recognize what's going on. Is somebody extends their hand or fist bump nowadays and says, I'm so-and-so. What you're doing, or what most of us do, is we think, well, what am I going to say after they get done talking? Instead of just hearing them first and then being heard, as I think Cubby would say. Yes. First listen and then, and then be heard.
So, yeah, that's really so true. You know, what I'm thinking is, we had discussion about this the other day in one of my groups. And we were talking about, mindfulness and mindful listening. And like in my mindful life coach model, that is one part of really the coaching. So it's that mindful listening. It's being in the present moment on purpose, not judging it and just absorbing it, right?
Exactly.
Because that's so important. Without that, we cannot coach our clients. We can't be like, oh, I'm sorry, what did you just say?
And this happened to all of us, right? I've been with clients, admittedly, over my years, and I'm like, what the hell did they just say for 10 minutes? Like I wasn't there.
Yes.
It's happened.
Yes. And honestly, it does happen to all of us. And
of course, yeah.
And you know what? Sometimes it is okay. You can't do this all the time. But seriously, it's okay to say, listen, Patrick, I'm really sorry. I had some trouble at work this morning.
Yes.
I lost you for 2-3 minutes. I apologize. It's wrong thing to do. Can you please say that again?
Yes.
Now, look, I mean, you can't do this every time.
It's not only okay. I think it's the appropriate thing to do.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the appropriate thing to do. Hey, I lost track. My mind went somewhere else. I'm trying to put my focus on you.
Yes.
And it hasn't been on you for the last 2 or 3 minutes. So can we double back? And that's just human. It's better than,
missing
falling asleep or,
missing the key piece of information that you need to coach your
missing
client.
The things. And that shows respect.
Exactly. This is the same thing you mentioned with the people's names, right? We're afraid to say, I'm really sorry. I didn't get it. Can you please maybe spell it for me? Or can you know, all these
Yeah.
things that you and I used to teach on a daily, weekly
Just be
basis.
human, right? Just
That's
be
it.
human. You mess up, you mess up. Be human on an amped up level as a coach where it's time now to set time aside to be mindful. And when I'm not mindful during that half hour or 45 minutes or hour or whatever the session is with a client or clients, own it and backtrack and then be mindful. So that's number two. We got number one, number two, not challenging, not listening, and then
There is one more I know you and I wanted to cover. And I know you also talk a lot about this one that I'm going to give you a little tip. But it's about, you know, in life generally, most of us, we want to be heroes, right? We want to be the good guys. We want to show how good we are, right? And when we coach, and most of new coaches that I train will actually have this trouble, and they'll say it. I don't understand. He just doesn't want to listen to me. Like, I can't coach him. I hear this all the time.
yeah,
So
I can't whoop him to do what I want.
yes. Why doesn't he listen? Like,
Yeah.
he can't. He's not coachable. With some people are not coachable. We know that. But so you know, for us to like really be that hero, don't we try often to do that? And what
Yeah, and I
really
think that's a
happens?
mistake. That is a big mistake, and I do talk a lot about that. You know, when I train other coaches, is the positioning of yourself as a hero as opposed to a guide. And it's natural when we see somebody suffering or suffering. I'm using the term suffering lightly, right? Suffer, but
Right.
it could be suffering. Maybe it is suffering, real suffering. Maybe they're having emotional challenges, and you're helping coach them through those. But maybe it's also they're just having trouble getting to the goals that they want to reach. Like they have roadblocks, and it's natural for us to want to step in when people are suffering or hurting or not getting what they want and try to fix things, to
Yes.
save things, like to swoop down like a superhero and say, I
Fixing.
saved the day.
Yes.
And the challenge is when we do that, right? When we do that, what happens, right? We then when we swoop down and save the day consistently, we turn that client into the small child, the ineffectual
Yes.
person who has no
Yeah.
ability to really take on life's challenges themselves. So I would argue that the better approach, the positioning is, I'm not your hero.
Right.
I don't want to be your hero. I'm a guide.
Right.
I'm an empathetic guide who cares
Yes.
about you, who cares about where you want to go. But I'm not going to swoop down and save you. I'll help you. I'll guide you in those situations. I'll listen. I'll be mindful. I'll challenge you, but I'm not the hero. And when we, right. And I'll even ask you this, like when we take on that position of hero, wouldn't you think it actually puts a lot of pressure on us when we do have that position that I'm the hero here, I'm going to save everything. It puts a lot of pressure on the coach.
Puts a lot of pressure, but it's also just very wrong thing to do. This
It
is
is.
not our job to solve the problem. It's client is going to have to solve the problem.
They
Our
are.
job is to guide them and to help them. That's
Yeah.
really all it is. It's not solving the problems for them. It's very, very clear. I mean,
100%. Yeah. So I think we're pretty much, we're going to wrap it up, but we had three things. We want to make sure we're leaving people with three things, and they were not challenging enough, right? That's a mistake. So the other side of that is to challenge your clients more.
Exactly.
Not listening enough. The other side of that is to be mindful, listen. And when you're not listening, just own it. Be human. Hey, I wasn't listening to you. I was thinking about something else. And then, backtrack. And then the third piece is the positioning yourself as a guide, an empathetic guide, as opposed to a hero who's going to swoop down and save the day.
Exactly. Well done. I will talk to you soon, my friend.
Yeah. Okay.
Cheers.
Good, Braco. Good always seeing
Bye-bye.
you. Okay. Bye.